Ani Bojo Kwekwe. It's Catherine here from Moonstarlodge in tiny Ontario, which is in the central part of this province. We are an Indigenous lodge, have been now going into our 41st year, specializing in Indigenous arts, spirituality, and education. And a lot of people don't realize this, but I'm a wedding or marriage officiant as well. So my journey with the divine in terms of cartomancy started officially when I was 17. So this is almost 50 years of doing this. And I love when wacky things come together. And you'll see that when we get to the card spread. I received a parcel this week, and it was from the lovely and talented Monica Budierski from Toronto, who is a artist, a Wiccan, college professor, many things. And you'll probably recognize her Shadowland Tarot, which was published by Schiffer Red Feather. But the package I received was Between the Worlds. And I ordered it directly from Monica so I could get it autographed. And she's like a sister from another mister to me. We have a lot in common, although our lives are very different. But philosophically and spiritually, there's a lot in common here, and I have a great and deep respect for her. So I decided to make this a Monica Budierski based reading using 4 of the decks that I have of hers, because I do have her other Shadowland Lenormand, the small ones. However, the larger one is easier to see, and I'm using her Bat's Blood Ink Oracle. But for the main reading of the week, which appears on YouTube, so the one that runs from December 5th until the 11th, I am adding a few other decks. So I'm adding the Marigold Tarot, which I often use for ancestors. I am using also the Whispering Bones, which I've used before, and the Raven cards by Gabby Booker. So there's a picture of all these decks that always gets posted. When I do readings, people are forever asking me what decks I've used. So I make a point of posting a picture and posting, or a picture of the decks rather, and posting a picture of the actual card layout. Now, I shuffle well as I can off camera because I have rheumatoid arthritis. It's very awkward. So I take time and I put out the cards, and if it's a new deck to me and I don't understand the meaning of something, I will look it up and so forth. So it's going to be that way today because the oracle that Between the Worlds is a set of cards, 46 cards, based on a curio and bone casting practice that Monica has. So these are things which she has a set of items, both natural and found, that she's accumulated or become steward of, let's put it that way, over a lifetime. And I gather that Monica is getting close to my age, so this is a extraordinary deck, and I thought I really had to do this today. But the need then comes for me to reference her book for, one particular card, for example, because I don't know what its relative information is without referencing her book. So All right. Uh, let's go to the cards, Brian. So these 7 cards are from the Shadowland Tarot. And then this is from the Between the Worlds. This is from her Monica's Lenormand. This is from Bat's Blood Inc. This is the Marigold Tarot representing the ancestors. This is from the Embroidered Graveyard, representing more spirit guides rather than ancestors. This one is from the Whispering Bones, and it's representing Source. Call it God, Creator, Great Mystery, whatever you want to call it. And then we have the Gabby Booker Raven cards representing a Dotem. So let's start down here, and you'll realize why I think this is quite funny. We start with the Two of Wands, and the Two of Wands represents the beginning, the genesis, the awareness of the need to embark on a new journey. And this new journey is one that isn't fixed yet, but it's going to be fairly quickly, because we're at the end of another journey. It's a completion, it's a burden carried, it's something that is done and done and done, put it down. So we need to take whatever we've learned from this completion cycle, the passion that we had, and see it starting to ignite for a new journey. We have, following this card here, the Queen of Pentacles, and she is a delightful being. She has embraced all the good that is our earthly walk in this third dimension. She has her little cat familiar there, and it's about harvesting all that we can harvest, holding on, giving it out when we need to give it out. But I see this as a harvesting for the self, the accumulation. She's like the bank manager, so to speak, of this this journey. She's got all the resources here to provide us with the means to begin this new journey. We have the Page of Wands. So here's Wands, Wands, Page of Wands. The Page of Wands is telling us to approach this new journey that we need to start with a sense of innocence and enthusiasm and no fear about, maybe making a mistake or needing to course correct on this new journey. That's what this is about. It's not the end. It's not the completion of the journey. It's the process of the journey that's important here. We come to the Nine of Wands right beside this, and this tells me that you will come to the end of the journey feeling content, perhaps tired, needing to think, to assess, recapitulate what's gone on, because by the time you're an adult, you've had many, 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 many journeys, some longer than others, some longer in terms of distance, but also in terms of time. So this says that the assessment, the passion is still there, the fires are still lit. You have the High Priestess. So here's a 2 card from the Major Arcana, and this 2 cards. So you've got the stability of knowing that there is wisdom or a wisdom resource available for you from the moon. She brings to earth all these things which come from the moon. And there's her bat familiar. So it's a stable series of events, and it is also going to culminate with influence from the beyond this dimension. So in the middle of this coming week, well, almost the middle, on the 7th, we have a full moon. And it's the final full moon of Gives Praise Woman. So this full moon is going to enlighten the journey. And by the end of the week, we have the Six of Swords. Somebody who's working in consort with others, making a journey. Now there's a sea serpent here helping this journey. So there's a support from underneath, and you have support. So know that you need not fear or step back from making changes. Now, how do our friends here look upon this journey? Well, the Acorn card from the Between the Worlds is about both growth and it's about decay. So this is an interesting thing. We are incubating this new journey, and if we don't take it, the timing will decay, the opportunity will decay. But this is more about cycles, and every time we make a new journey, as an overarching word, whether it's the journey of a marriage, the journey of a job, the journey of education, the journey up the road to have, coffee with a friend. Every journey has a beginning, a fulfillment, and a time where it returns its knowledge, its energy back to the earth to incubate a new cycle. So clearly, the repetition of cycles with all different kinds of journeys is spoken of here. We have the Child card from the Lenormand. Now this could, in classic Lenormand, represent an actual child. It could also represent the attributes much like the Page of Wands, which is to be childlike as you look at the nature of this journey, the sense of innocence and the sense of exploration. This card is the Ancestors card. And it's interesting that when I pulled from this deck, I also got this as the Ancestors card. The Knight of Wands. So we have the Two of Wands, the 9, the 10, the Page, and the Knight. They're all in sequence here. So this ancestor is all dressed up, going somewhere. They're present to us. And this ancestor card is saying, look, we're bringing you the energy and we're like the cheering section here for this journey. We have so much to offer, and doing ancestor work is really important. Monica speaks about it in her book for Between the Worlds. I do a tremendous amount of ancestor work, and if you've ever come into my office, you see all the crystals lined up and the pyramids lined up, and I think about the ancestors and speak with them when they journey to me. This card here is interesting because it's vulnerability, and vulnerability is obviously, it's sitting here right above the Page of Wands. We make ourselves vulnerable to all kinds of experiences, physical, emotional, intellectual, and spiritual, when we embark on a major new journey in life. This is a life journey. And so this is karmic in nature. This is part of why we ever incarnated. So it's asking us to be vulnerable. If we don't let the guard down and allow the experiences to come with us or to us, we don't learn from them. So from the Whispering Bones deck, I pulled the card for Spirit, and it says trusting. And this is faith. Faith isn't a blind thing. Faith comes from a place of Gnostic consciousness that what you are drawing from here is your own soul. We are not separate from Source. Our own soul will not let us down. So trust that you will receive the information from ancestors who are part of our monadic group. But you will also receive information from Source, and the Moon, and Gives Praise Woman. The Raven card here says Skanath and Hasnik, which is thanks. Different ways of looking at thanks. Sometimes experiences and things that happen only make sense in relation to each other, and then they form a word that shows that we welcome everything, and that word is thanks. So, you can flip the camera. Short and sweet, we have a plethora of opportunities presenting themselves here as new journeys. And obviously, as we come toward the end of 2022 and this final full moon on the 7th of Gives Praise Woman, we need to give praise for the journeys that have been, of course. But this is very clearly a sign of a lot. At least I can see three significant references to new journeys here. And so this is going to be an exciting year as we pull out of the endemic, or now endemic, pandemic, as the world rights itself financially from the chaos that the pandemic caused. We'll find that new adventures settle into our paths, and it's up to us to take them. So I hope you've enjoyed this reading for the 5th through the 11th, and please know that on late Tuesday evening, I will be posting on Instagram and Facebook the little, what will I call them, 2 little mini readings that kind of add a little bit more information, kind of the icing on the cake, if you will, and updates from Spirit. Please know that Spirit is always, they don't have a time concept like we do here in our 3rd dimension. So Spirit is always adding little things to me. So I've made it a point of adding a reading on Tuesday night to cover Wednesday and Thursday, and then another little bit of information to tie up the loose ends by the weekend. If you've enjoyed this reading, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe so that you get notifications whenever I post this kind of reading, or readings that have to do with cards and decks and reviews and that sort of thing. Discussions about oracles, tarot, divination, cartomancy, that sort of thing. We will soon be doing some classes again, and that will come after the new year as we get the space ready right now for this time. If you would like to support my addiction, no, it's my coffee. It's a play on words. There's a coffee address down below at the end of the actual reading. Brian posts it, but also in the information, and you can link up and join us, because some of the tiers for classes will be listed through coffee. And be blessed, and know that this is a good time, and it's a perfect time. Spirit supports us all. Aho.